How can this be? How can it be that when you try to give the market what it wants, it actually blows up in your face and you cease to exist as a company? So, today I want to talk to you about this book, The Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen. I just barely finished reading it a little while ago, and it's really awesome, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. So, first, Clayton Christensen. Clayton Christensen is a little bit of a big deal. He was a Rhodes Scholar to Oxford University, and then he came back and got an MBA at Harvard University, and now he's serving as the Dean of the Business School at Harvard. So yes, a little bit of a big deal. The Innovator's Dilemma talks about what might be his most important idea, what disruptive innovations are, and what to do about them. In the book, he goes through several case studies of this principle in United States industry and spells out exactly how this is played out. A few of those examples include the steel manufacturing industry in the United States, the way disc drives were manufactured, and also the way that Honda motorcycles and other Asian manufacturers of motorcycles came in and disrupted the American market for motorcycles. The model he presents goes something like this. When there are big firms in the market, they want to do four things. They want to sell to customers who want their products, they want to sell to a lot of customers, they want to sell a lot of products, and they want to sell those products at a high margin. And those are sort of the four principles of good management. In order to do this, these firms develop what he calls sustaining technologies. What that is small incremental technologies that make the existing way of doing things better. It makes it faster, it makes it cheaper, it makes it more effective. Conversely, there are also what he calls disrupting technologies. And what these are technologies that totally upend the market. They totally change the way things are done. So the question that Clayton Christensen is trying to answer in this book is, how do you appropriately respond to that? And it's a trickier question than it might seem at first. If you're a big business, you actually have more incentive to develop sustaining technologies than to develop disrupting technologies. If you develop sustaining technologies, then you have a greater chance of earning a high margin on each product, selling a lot of products, having a known customer base, and having a lot of customers who want your product. Conversely, if you invest in disrupting technologies, it's totally different. You don't know who wants it. You don't know how many people want it. You can't sell at very high margins because the market isn't very well developed. Oh yeah, and it's probably also low quality because no one's tried to do it before. Now, this is the trap, according to Clayton Christensen. The trap is that big businesses are going to develop sustaining technologies, and that's going to work until suddenly one day, it doesn't. The disruptive technologies will take over, and those big businesses that invest in sustaining technologies will disappear almost overnight. So what you end up with is a dilemma. And the dilemma is this: should you invest in sustaining technologies that are safe and relatively assured, or should you invest in potentially disruptive technologies that are unsafe and risky? So what's the lesson here? Clayton Christensen says that it's not enough to have good management principles. It's not enough to just deliver customers what they want and develop better technologies for whatever it is that you're doing. That's a good strategy when dealing with sustaining innovation, but disruptive innovation requires a different approach. Instead, you need to take small, iterative risks and pay careful attention to what happens and modify constantly as you go. One of the other big takeaways from this is that the market expands and contracts like a heartbeat. New technologies enter the scene and they're developed in a sustaining manner until they're cheap and they're high quality and everybody can use them. But once the market for that technology has expanded to its maximum level, the market will then contract as disruptive technologies begin to take over. If you do go big, that can pay off. But you have to have an eye on the smaller side of things and be constantly developing small things. You have to pay attention to the small, because someday the small might become big. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. We hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and give us a subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll see when we make more videos. We really like explaining and exploring cool ideas like this, so if you like that, you'll definitely want to check back soon. In the description, we've also put a link to Amazon where you can buy The Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen. It's a fantastic book and well worth reading and understanding. See you next time.